Hi there. Yeah, I'm. Hello, people, whoever this. This is. Well, people who are watching this channel, I suppose. I'm doing a review here about a brilliant book I've just read called The Blue Box, by Mark Mays, and it it was originally called The Gift Maker, or something along those lines, but it's now called The Blue Box. And I've got to say, it was I finished reading it a couple of days ago, and it is very unusual. It's like I've not read any other book like it, and actually, normally speaking, I find it quite hard to finish a novel these days, but I had no problem finishing this one. It was very interesting. I find it hard for a book to keep my interest up these days. I just get diverted so easily, but this really did keep my interest up. Oh God, I thought I just switched my coffee everywhere, but luckily it's the pepper. Oh, no coffee left, luckily. Um, That'll be a second time. It went all over my laptop the other day. I managed to salvage that. Anyway, I'll get that aside. By quickly taking it apart and drying it out. Oh, I'm so clumsy. I am so clumsy. But anyway, the yeah, so this was a really, really, really interesting book, different from anything I've ever read. Um, I'll tell you this. The main characters is a guy. I'm not going to obviously I can't give the story away, but there's a main character is a guy called Thomas, and it is set in Germany. But it's the main character is a guy called Thomas, and so there is sort of German names in it as well. But another the other character is called Lizalette, the woman in it, and there's another, the Tom's man Joe, and there's these three sort of main characters, and there's also another character that which I'll talk about in a minute. But um, so these three characters, they sort of receive these gifts on, they don't know who it's from, and but they get these boxes these as gifts, one by one as happens, and when they don't all open them straight. I mean, Thomas doesn't open his straight away. And because he sees Lizola opens hers, and it's what comes out of this box. What comes out of the box is something I would never expect. I've got to say that I definitely wouldn't have expected it. And when I sort of read that, I thought, whoa, and what the hell's going on here? So this is going to be, you want to know. Then you want to know, why have they been given these gifts? Why have they been given these gifts? And so I yeah and then they sort of go on a journey of discovery. Well, first of all, they want to find out who gave them these boxes, um, and that's another sort of side of the story. So they're basically, these characters have got, they're kind of, I get the character Thomas is, he's got you can tell there's things that aren't, that he's not happy about with himself and his life perhaps, and things. And so it's about what they start learning from this journey they're going on. They to find really more about themselves. And the other main character in the book is a who's where these gifts have come from, who's given them these gifts. This character is also on a journey, yeah. Because I mean, we're all affected by everybody else, and there's always things which make us do things, and this book shows how the characters have all got reasons for doing what they're doing, and why they're going on this journey, and why they might be doing things which might seem really bad, or evil even, but and at times I've got to say the book is, I mean, I can't really go into details about obviously what was in the boxes or one, but or who exactly was, where they came from, but at times it goes into like a sort of almost like a dream, and you're not sure if it's a dream or not. You're not really sure what it is, and at times it's quite disturbing as well. I would say this is a deep book, and it's a fascinating book. It's also deep. It's not, it would appeal to anyone because it's an interesting novel, but also it's you'd need to be someone who to read. You got to be someone who doesn't mind deep. Should I put it that way? I like deep because I'm a thinker, and I do. I like things which make me think, and make me wonder about things, and this book certainly does. So, if I'm on, if you happen to be a misfit in life, I don't know why I would have said that. But you may be into deep stuff. I certainly am. Philosophical, ideas and where we come from, what we're doing, what is life about, all this sort of stuff. Come into it to a certain extent, our dreams, our hopes, and what these characters are learning from what's happening to them. Thomas, I think I can say enough to know that the main character Thomas does have feelings for the female character Lizelle, and so he's also got the problem of feeling that he's losing her, and so he's trying to, they're not in a relationship, but he still feels, if you're really, if you like someone and it looks like that you're going to lose them before you've even had a chance, then he's got all that stress going on as well, and trying to find her and find, as well, and because it's almost like she's kind of run away from him. It's almost, these boxes do things to them. They do things. What they find in these boxes does things to their character. It changes them. And there's some very deep insights about it's also sort of, I don't know, metaphysical, maybe about God as well, and not in name, but about how you would think about life and the meaning of life, and whether you believe in God and that sort of stuff as well. Anyway, it's really a fascinating read. It's really worth reading. I would recommend it to anybody, and to anybody who likes different, who you like to, because I'm like that. I don't like your regular normal kind of books that would appeal to the masses. I like something a bit different, and this certainly will fascinate you and keep your interest going and make you want to know what happens, which is what keeps you turning the pages of a book ultimately, is because you want to know what's going to happen next. And actually, I felt, just to end on, I actually felt quite sad for the other character I'm talking about. There's other characters in the book, but I'm the one, the reason, or where the I'm trying not to give too much away, but where the boxes have come from, why they've been given to them, and who's behind that, and that's quite a sad story as well, and it's and but I won't go into the end, but it's worth reading. It's worth reading to the end, definitely, because but I won't go into the end. I won't go into the end, but. So I would definitely, and I'll put a link below, and it's by a guy called Mark Mays, and it's called The Blue Box. And if you don't know, you've never come across a guy called Mark Mays, he also sometimes masquerades as someone called Pepe. I don't know why, but it's on Amazon. It's not in paperback at the moment, unfortunately. So. It's on Kindle. I read it on Kindle because I can do that, but I believe that it was on a free offer thing for a while. I bought it just before that, I think, but it wasn't expensive anyway. It was only a few quid. It wasn't much anyway, but it may well still be on a free offer on the Kindle. I'm not sure. So you do need to read it on Kindle, but it's well worth getting, and I'll put the link below. Thanks. Yeah, it's a very, very, very fascinating, interesting read, and very well written, beautifully written as well. Right, I'm going to go now. I've got a very strange. There's a sort of long. There's a picture on my wall, and it's a long, one of those long kind of Japanese style things, and I'm looking at it now, and I know it's getting dark here. I should have put the lights on, shouldn't I? But it looks. Oh God, it looks. It doesn't look like what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a couple of Alsatians and dogs underneath a sort of tree of some sort, and it's in that Japanese style, but it looks like a sort of really kind of should I say not terrified, desperate face in this light. I don't know why at the bottom. I think maybe that I'm reading about sort of. There are parts of Mark's book which are quite dark, I've got to say. If you don't like dark and you're quite squeamish about things like that, then maybe don't. But I mean, there's some beautiful parts in it, and there's some deep and dark bits in it too. But great read, and so I'll leave it there, and I'll put the link beneath. And thanks for listening.